in the 2-6, also defeated Purdue Fort Wayne in their first round matchup. It's 1 versus 2 in the MIVA Championship. Welcome inside the Worthen Arena. Tucker Bidding, Mick Tidrow with our entire ESPN Plus crew. For the first time since 2002 and just the second time ever, Tucker, it's Loyola and Ball State for the MIVA title.
Yeah, Loyola looking to repeat as MIVA champs. They won last year. They went back-to-back-to-back, had a three-peat in 2013, 14, and 15, including national championships in 14 and 15. And on the other side, Ball State trying to win a MIVA tournament for the first time since 2022, even though it won 4 of the last 5 regular season titles.
And as you can tell, this crowd is fired up and ready to get this thing started, and so is Alexander Shosha. He is back in this lineup for the Ramblers. He played last game, started last game against Lewis for the first time in 14 matches.
Yeah, you know, we saw him this week for the first time since the middle of February. And he was an early season favorite for MIVA Player of the Year, was averaging almost 4.5 kills a set against a big-time non-con schedule. So I'm looking for him to get going early here.
Well, you said it, MIVA Player of the Year. That's exactly what Patrick Rogers picked up this year. Almost 400 kills for the National Player of the Year semifinalist.
Yeah, MIVA Player of the Year, National Player of the Year semifinalist. Absolutely one of the best 2 or 3 players in the country. Pat Rogers has done it over and over and over for the Cardinals, and he's going to have to do it again here tonight.
Shosha and Rogers, 2 to watch. Let's take a look at the rest of the starting lineups for the Ramblers and the Cardinals for Loyola Chicago. Alongside Shosha, Ryan McElligott, the star setter, has also missed time this year, but he's back as the #1 guy. Schellinger, Bell, Klein, and Fabakovic round out the lineup for Shane Davis and the Loyola Chicago Ramblers. For Ball State, Will Basilio on the outside to pair with Patrick Rogers, the center who's been a star this year, healthy for the first time all year. Lucas Machado, Daniel Gunther, the freshman from Germany, has slid in seamlessly with some injuries to help out Ball State. Before first serve, we say hello to Max Gilley for the first time tonight. What's up, Max?
Well, Mick, you mentioned that Ball State and Loyola are facing off in the MIVA Championship for only the second time, but they are no strangers when it comes to the MIVA tournament. Ball State holds the all-time advantage 5-4 against Loyola in the MIVA tournament, but the big thing is they haven't faced each other since 2018 in the MIVA semifinals where Loyola got the win. And guys, it's #1 versus #2. This is going to be a fun one.
Max, it's hard to believe that this is only the second time that Loyola and Ball State have ever met in the championship match. Ball State won it 3-0 in 2002. Tucker, this is a game that's been boiling for years to have a rematch.
It's crazy to think about, you know, since 2000, these are 2 of the best 3 teams, you know, in the conference along with Ohio State, and for it to only be the second time since 2002 that these guys have met in the tournament finals is pretty crazy. So we're going to have a good one tonight. If you haven't gotten your snacks and drinks yet, I'd get them quick because you're not going to want to get up from this one.
That's Shane Davis back for his second stint with the Ramblers. 14th total season. He has been nothing but a winner. The last 4 years he's been the head coach of the Ramblers. They've won the MIVA Tournament Championship. He's trying to make it 5.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. They went back-to-back at national champions there in 14 and 15. He comes back after a stint coaching on the women's side and has come back in seamlessly, getting this Ramblers team back up into national contention. And he's looking for another one tonight here. Away, though, at Ball State.
And Patrick Rogers, the MIVA Player of the Year, ready to get us started in front of a raucous crowd. It's the MIVA Tournament Championship in Muncie. And off we go with a service ace from the MIVA Player of the Year.
And Rogers right out of the gate bringing some heat from the service line. You're going to see a whole handful of serves from this guy. He'll go off speed. He'll hit some cutty across the court, but no doubt about that one. Rogers out of the gate swinging, gives the Cardinals an early 1-0 lead.
That's 38 aces out of the team to lead the Ball State service line attack. The Ramblers go quickly on the outside, and a whistle blows. It is quickly. First look at Daniel Fabakovic on the service line. A junior from the Czech Republic. 19 aces on the season. Step 1 in the MIVA Championship. Machado sets it up to the middle, and Jacob Surratt does the rest.
Love it from Machado, getting the middles going early, and out for the Cardinals.
Service error on Surratt there. He mentioned it. There's some energy in this building. Loyola Chicago. You can just feel the buzz for this championship match. Machado to Ryan Lewis, who sends it down the line, but too far out.
just wide there from Lewis. Going to be an interesting to get going. He was really, really good for the Cardinals in the semifinal match, and if he can go early, give these guys some balance, force Loyola to have to play pin to pin, it's going to put a ton of pressure on that defense. They're just wide from Lewis.
Aiden Klein serves it. Rogers the dig. Machado for Lewis. Dug out. Free ball. Free Willie. Will Basilio hammers one home.
Basilio takes care of that overpass. It starts with Lewis. I love Machado going right back to him after the air. Loyola just unable to handle that ball there.
Lewis dug out, and Machado lets it go.
One of the things that Coach Davis talked about was their ability to handle the pass, be able to have some rhythm early. You've seen 2 aces from the Cardinals so far, so see if Loyola can settle in here a little bit. A lot of energy going right now to handle the ball.
You said it, a lot of energy. Already led to a couple of service errors for the Cardinals.
Yeah, just deep there from Lewis. And some good back and forth here. I think these guys are going to settle in here as we get a little farther along in this set. You've already seen some really nice swings from both sides and just some uncharacteristic errors as well. So look for both these guys to find some rhythm as we go.
Quick touch. That was Schillinger. Basilio off balance. Shosha pops it. And another hard swing by Schillinger. And the Ramblers tool the block successfully.
Yeah, good little bit of rhythm there. And yeah, I like that swing off the outside of the block. Kind of quick motion. They know they're going there, but they keep it in tempo. And Machado just unable to get his hands back into the court. Nice tool from the block from the Ramblers.
Shosha sends it away. Machado pops it. Lewis has the running start and pummels it out. Lewis was wondering if it was tipped up front, and Coach Iandolo says, all right, everybody, slow things down. You can see him put his hands to the ground as the first-year head coach of the Cardinals. Shosha. Had a highly anticipated return back to the lineup in the semifinals against Lewis. Produced 17 kills, commits the service error here.
Yeah, unbelievable. A day of practice coming back after being fully cleared, and then just plays like he's been playing all season. So really good for Loyola to get him back in the lineup.
Schillinger, the quick tap. Machado's there. Fabakovic tries to keep it loose, but it is Ball State's point.
Tried to get away with that one. They held on to it a little bit long. That was a toughie. Ball State doing a good job there. You know, Schillinger tries to go off speed into that block like he'd done before. Ball State sends it back, and Loyola just unable to cover it.
Shosha off Basilio.
Good high shot there from Shosha. Basilio going to want that one back. Too good of a touch from the block up front to not handle that ball. But again, you see in some plays, people ripping balls, just kind of not quite in rhythm yet. So both teams playing well here, but we're going to see it clean up as we go.
That's now 4 combined service errors of the 14 points tonight. Each team with 6 attacks. The Ramblers 3 kills. Ball State has 2. Gunther to serve. Quick touch to the middle. That's from Bell. Popped up. Rogers tries to loop it over and does so successfully.
Really nice job there by Machado to put that thing up one-handed. And if there's one person you're going to have to send a bad ball to clean up, you want it to be Rogers. Just spins it in front of the right back there. Shosha unable to make that play. Ball State gets an easy one.
Good dig out by Fabakovic. Machado, what a bullet from Jacob Surratt in the middle.
And a really nice job there. Gonna be quick bang play. Lewis doesn't quite get it up there to Machado as high as he'd like, but Surratt staying in there. Get the ball to the quick attacker, and Loyola just unable to slow that down.
Long serve, and the Cardinals commit their 3rd service error to snap a 3-0 scoring run as well.
Yeah, you see Gunther there kind of hit a couple off-speed balls short that got Loyola into some trouble, and there he goes long. Not really sure why we switched there, but or why he would make this switch on that one, but and a miss-hit that one, sends it long.
Joust and Machado able to punch it back, but it looks like he was in the net.
Yeah, Rogers, the bad handle there on that serve. Bell, nice job putting some pressure on him. Machado trying to win it, just into the net a little bit.
Brad Bell, the senior from Salem, Wisconsin. Machado, Rogers stopped up front. Dig out by Fabakovic. Shosha goes to work, but so does the front line of the Cardinals. It's Rogers and Surratt teaming up.
Yeah, and a good off-speed shot there from Rogers to set that up. Gonna take Smilkovic out of it. And then they get the block set up against Shosha, just all over it. Good close by Surratt in the middle. Rogers got a big piece of it, but a nice job there by the Cardinals defense.
How about this environment? This is back and forth. Loyola's crowd, Ball State's crowd, obviously the home side of things, but the Ramblers faithful traveled well, and the Cardinals crowd has been getting into it early.
Yeah, I like the energy in here, and I'm, you know, lots to say about Loyola traveling, getting their parents here, getting their fans here. We've got some good juice on both sides, so it's been a good one so far.
Rogers with a quick touch.
Yeah, they like that rotation one where Rogers is hitting in the opposite spot there on the right side, and row one comes up a little tight on that set. Just finds the outside of the hands there against Fabakovic and gives the Cardinals another point. 1 point lead here in set one.
Rogers lets it loose too far. Ramblers really haven't had a chance to settle into the offense, mostly because Ball State has 5 service errors, each team with 2 attack errors. Get touched off, Ball State up front, and the Ramblers have a quick lead.
Got a good job taking care of that ball there by Klein, but again, just some uncharacteristic passing errors here from Ball State. Looked to be a pretty easy one there. Basilio unable to handle it.
Machado to the middle, and Surratt flings it home.
A great shot there. Like Fabakovic going right back, trying to make Basilio handle it again after the overpass. Gets it. Machado able to find Surratt, even though he's passed a little off the net. Surratt, as he's done a couple times already tonight here, finding some space in that Loyola Ramblers defense.
Shosha works up front, tools the block successfully.
Shows a nice shot there, maybe just a little bit under that, or set was just a little high, they're just a little bit out of rhythm from normal, but what a great shot going high, kind of off speed, off the edge of the block.
And that's the effect when you get him back. He can make those types of plays.
Yeah, just a really nice shot. I mean, when you get guys that have played and done it and can score at a high level, you have to respect what they do, and when they go off speed, sometimes it's really hard to handle that.
Shosha goes quickly and launches it down.
Yeah, just inside Basilio there, trying to get out there in a hurry, and really nice job to get him the ball quickly.
He snaps so quickly that a double block is typically not going to be enough.
Yeah, and McElligott there, a really nice job getting the ball back to him. It was kind of a little bit of a bang-bang play there, but gets him in some rhythm and shows as he can do. Puts it away quick.
Lucas Anderson serves one out. Hard rip from Schellinger to the front line, sends it backwards.
Fabakovic just passing that ball off the net, and honestly, pretty good shot there by Schellinger. That set's not on the net. He's got a triple block. He hits high. It's kind of somebody tried to make a play on the cover instead of the back, the kind of the deep coverage man making that play, and then end up not able to corral it there on their side. But thought Schellinger hits a good shot there. Just Ramblers unable to make the cover play. Ball State gets the block and the stuff there to tie it at 14.
And the first of 15 in the MIVA championship is Loyola Chicago, 15-14.
And Lewis has been struggling somewhat here today, and you can see Loyola has the lead.
And now it's quickly tied back up, 15-15 off of that one. But when you've got somebody like Rogers and what Coach Davis was saying about the supporting cast overall, it does make things tougher. It strains the defense, and he wants to be prepared for that.
Certainly, and I think you'll see Lewis settle in a little bit, just a couple kind of uncharacteristic swings. Again, these guys are amped up, ready to go. But certainly, I mean, you see it on both sides. I mean, if Loyola's handled the ball well, they can be balanced and they can score all over and in a hurry. And so the deal tonight is going to be about who can keep consistent pressure from the service line, and then, you know, who can pass the ball well enough to stay in system and not allow the other team to get their big physical blocks in the way of these attacks.
Oh, that swing from Schellinger rips one down to tie it up.
Then you see him kind of go off speed the one before, and nothing off speed about that one. He gets on that thing in a hurry. Machado in there, thought they were going to go to the middle of the court, and Schellinger takes that open space down the line, rips one off of Ryan Lewis.
Jake Reed, the junior from Newport Beach, California, to the service line. High pop-up, Machado's there, so is Rogers. Soa, though, digs it out. Fabakovic. Machado sets it up for Lewis. That was pretty, and Machado celebrates on the deck.
And what a play there by Lucas Machado. Nice rally before that, but everybody thinks he's going to have to set the middle on that ball. He finds a way to get it back to Ryan Lewis. The blocks all over the middle, because most of the time you get those bang-bang plays, that ball set tight, the setter's got to go to the middle. Machado finding a way to get that ball back to Ryan Lewis, who hammers it home for the Cardinals.
Tyler Wint to the service line now. First time the freshman from Winter Park, Florida, checks in tonight. Quick run for the middle, but it's off Wint's foot. He keeps it alive, and now Rogers puts it in. Into the middle again. Brad Bell silences the crowd. They were amped up as Tyler Wint came in and served, got the save, but the middle for Loyola does it after this beauty.
Yeah, kick save from Wint there, and man, would have liked to have a little bit more on that one for Machado, or for Pat Rogers, excuse me, to do something with there, but having to kind of give it back to Loyola. They don't make a mistake again. Put that one home. They'll give Ball State a chance to dig it. So good job by Loyola to kind of handle the excitement of that kick dig and find a way to score.
Aiden Delorier serves it. Machado to Rogers, off of Fabakovic for a kill.
Good swing there by Rogers. Middle staying in there on that pick. And just a little late getting out there. Pat Rogers feels the space. Rips one cross court. Like the Machado's trying to get him going early here. He's got a good amount of looks so far in this one. Ball State's going to need him to score to finish this set.
Fabakovic trying to go behind Machado. Scherer tries to pancake, but the Ramblers even the score. It's Ryan McElligott to serve it, the senior setter. Machado in system to Rogers, but it's just out down the line. You can see where Rogers was trying to sneak it to the corner with the two defenders there at the net.
Yeah, he's passed out of row one here. He comes inside of Machado, and that's a tight angle to hit there. Would have liked him to go off the hands, maybe outside if he's going to go short side in the 5 zone.
So McElligott with a service error.
Lots of back and forth here. Again, tied at 19-19. It'll be about who can take care of the ball on these first touches. So from the service line, in serve receive, who can do more with what they've got here to keep their teams in system or to keep the other team out of it.
Oh, the rip down from Jacob Surrett. The middle is feasting today.
There you see, right on cue, Rogers, who's ripped a couple here early on. Goes off speed, cuts it across. Loyola just unable to keep it on their side. Gives Jacob Surrett a chance to put that thing down on the overpass. And Loyola goes to a timeout here late in set one.
Surratt's a perfect 4 of 4 on swings today. And the Cardinals force Loyola to burn the timeout here, 20-19. You wanted to see first contact and finishing games and sets for Ball State, and service pressure, offensive balance for the Ramblers.
Yeah, we talk about first contact. You're talking about serve, receive, defense. You're talking about being able to be consistent in what you're doing throughout. Those things make a huge difference. And when Ball State's playing really well, and they can handle it from the service line and serve receive. So for them to do something complete, they've got to be able to do that throughout, and they're looking to do that here with a 1-point lead late in set one.
And so far, the offensive balance really hasn't been there for Loyola because they've gone to Shosha and Fabakovic on 8 of the team's 20 attacks. Each has 3 kills and 4 swings. So maybe the balance is within those two, but so far they've been the guys taking the swings with Schellinger.
Yeah, they've done a nice job, and I think they've struggled. Ball State has a bunch of service errors, but they've got a few. They got 3 or 4 service aces too. So, Loyola's just been unable to kind of get in that first contact, that serve receive, first ball side out rhythm. And they've gone to the middle a little bit, but just haven't scored kind of at the clip that I think they want to. So they've been staying with the Pins, who, as you talked about, have been pretty good here so far.
Patrick Rogers into the net. The Cardinals' 7th service error in the first set.
And Rogers trying to go off speed. They're going to want that one back. Just a little jumpy on the toss there. Doesn't quite get enough on it, and then really short into the net. So we'll see here who can play a little bit cleaner in these last 5 points.
Machado for Rogers. Off Fabakovic and a long run for McElligott.
And right back to him goes Machado. On the pick, Rogers finds some space. Fabakovic just unable to make that play there. It's tough, kind of wide open, trying to dig that one-on-one.
So much is about positioning, and against Patrick Rogers, there's a lot of space there you have to try and cover. Shosha to try and tie it, but it's rejected backwards.
And there again, you see they've got a good pass. They don't go to the middle of the court. They go back. Ball State all over it. Basilio gets in that seam, sends one back. Now with a critical 2-point lead after 20 here in set one.
It's all clicking for the Cardinals, a .389 hit percentage, 10 kills, 4 blocks to the Ramblers' 0.
Yeah, they've done a nice job, I think, offensively. They've made some hitting errors, but haven't gotten stuffed. Kind of had some unforced one, but certainly have gotten in the way of a few of these for the Ramblers. And so, again, I think Loyola, they get one where they're in system. They still go to the pin. Ball State's daring them to just set the middle. They're kind of going one-on-one or kind of 1.5 on that block and saying, you got to score through the middle. And they go back to show so they get a good double on there and get the block. So be curious, the Ramblers here, where they go coming out of this timeout. If they do get a good pass again, they try to get something going through the middle, force Ball State to have to defend something else and not be able to load up on the pin attackers.
Taking a look at these numbers, Ball State had 21 more blocks on the season entering today's match. Loyola was at 210, which is a great amount. 12th in the country in blocks percent Loyola was, but they're being outblocked 4-0. Marty Canavan to serve. Junior from Chicago. When in doubt, Loyola's gone to the middles, but this time they push it too far.
And there you see right on cue, and they get a pass again. Really nice job by Soa to handle that thing, and just a little long from Klein. And Ball State now up to a 3-point lead here late in set one.
To the middle, the high-rise finish, and Aiden Klein doesn't miss this one.
Yeah, nice job there, and honestly, both said just a little high. McElligott's got to go up and get it. What a nice job there from Klein to kind of hang, and Gunter's going to want that one back. Kind of gets at a little bit of a misread there, and Klein puts it away. Great swing there, just hanging in the air from the big man. Buries it for the Ramblers.
Scherer pops it for Machado. Gunter does it too. Set point here in the MIVA Championships first set.
And I really like the distribution that Machado's had in this set so far. It's been spread out. He's gone to Rogers when he feels like he needs a point, but getting these middles going, Gunter, what a great cutback shot to give the Cardinals a couple set points here in set one.
Loyola trying to extend it here, and Fabakovic does exactly that.
Love the look on the Bic, so having trouble getting some things established in the front row through the middle of court. They stay in the middle of the court just behind the setter on that back Bic. Fabakovic buries one there. Keep the Ramblers alive in set one.
Shosha trying to do it on the service line now. Machado outside, Basilio whacks it down. And the MIVA Championship starts with the home team and regular season champion Ball State Cardinals off to a 1-0 start. Offense electric. The Cardinals hit 450 on their way to set one victory.
Would be nice.
Yeah. It's Pat Rogers, one ace today. Cardinals have 2 from the first set. McElligott to Fabakovic. Oh, that's a loud rejection. Basilio. And Surratt up front.
Basilio with his second stuff block here in just a short amount of time back there. And I think the Canadians maybe too amped up from the hockey playoffs going on in the NHL. He's bringing some of the vibes over to the volleyball court, but what a stuff there from Basilio.
Fabakovic responds.
I like the swing there, and again, you saw Machado do it on his side in set one. You see McElligott do it in this one. If they make an error, you get blocked, you go right back to him because you like the matchup. And how about Fabakovic ripping one there? Rogers just unable to handle it.
And you're a big proponent of, if a player makes a mistake, go right back to him. Trust your guy.
Well, I think if you like the matchup, these guys are so, you know, they pay attention to what's the matchup in the rotations and what do you like in this spot. And, you know, when you got guys who can really go, you got to trust them. And you don't want to go away from it. You don't want to try to do something different just because they get blocked. And these guys are playing high, and sometimes you take a good swing and they get you. And so I just like, you got 2 great setters here playing tonight, and they're smart enough to know, hey, we got to keep these guys in rhythm. We can't run away from something that happens. You're going to get blocked every once in a while when you're taking good swings. So I like it from both setters here thus far.
Off the front line, and Loyola closes the gap.
Aiden Klein there, good rip off the hands. A little bit of a lower set, though, not quite up an extension for him, but he doesn't go down, hits hard and flat. Ball State just not able to handle anything. Hit like that.
Free ball, and it's the Ramblers' point. Serve just put Ball State all sorts of out of sort. I think Lucas Machado's making a contest here.
Yeah, ball's way over the net there. Machado wants some help from the official, but not going to get it on that one.
Klein again on the service line. And that's the 7th ace, or the 7th error for both teams. Lewis just sneaks it over. McElligott outside. Schellinger set backwards. Machado and Gunther up front.
Again, able to get these guys, either you serve in there. Fabakovic handles it okay, but he has to go to the ground to do it, and kind of takes him out of that. Ball State expecting them to go to Schellinger there, and they send one back for another block.
McElligott, Shosha. Machado in line for Ryan Lewis, and he pummels one.
I tell you what, Will Basilio does a lot of things really well. He's not always the most physical blocker. Not saying he's not a physical player, but he has been really good getting in line with Shosha, taking away some shots. They get a good slow down there. Ryan Lewis gets the dig, and then what a set there by Machado to go back to him on the D ball, and he gets a kill for the Cardinals.
McElligott into the middle, and Brad Bell slaps it down.
Great cut shot there from Bell. And I like McElligott going right back to the middle there. They're trying to get it going, and what a shot.
Trust the
Not much
veteran.
you can do there. Bell just tattoos that thing inside the block, hits Basilio standing at the 4-foot line.
He's a .409 hit percentage lifer with the Ramblers. Patrick Rogers skies through.
Again, we talk about the balance from this Ball State offense. And Victor Scher, we haven't talked about him yet tonight. Per usual, makes all the right plays, handles the ball, sticks that pass, gives Ball State all the options. Machado sets the pick to Rogers, who buries it for the Cardinals.
Talk about burying it. There's Schellinger setting it down.
A good shot, good rhythm out there, playing fast to the left. Sneaks it inside that block. Good rip by Schellinger to side out quick. Give himself a chance to go back to the service line, cut this lead down for the Ramblers. 19 aces on the year for the graduate student. Schillinger on the service line.
Off of Basilio, who tried to tap it up. Hey, that's one serve that you'll remember on tape. How to spin that through.
Yeah, it's a tough one there. Good cross-court kind of cut serve, just gets the net, slows it down a tad. Good look there from Schellinger.
Machado to Basilio off of Shosha.
Good rip, Ball State finding some good rhythm on that pick attack. It's been Rogers a couple times so far. This time Basilio. Shosha tries to play that up off the shoulder, but just too much heat there on the bick from the Cardinals.
Out of the back row, Schellinger flings it down.
Good run right over the top on that bick, over the middle. You see Bell kind of coming right to the setter, and they get this bick, this back row attack pushed into the gap. Just a really hard ball to block and defend, and good decision there by McElligott. Gets a good look, open space, and Schellinger buries it.
Shosha trying to get going, does it on this swing. Been held in check. 3 kills, 7 swings, 3 errors.
Yeah, it's a tough one, just a little wide. He's going quick. He's on the D-ball, so he's on the back row attack. He's in the backcourt, so he's got to hit behind that 10-foot line, the 3-meter line there. A little bit wide, and he's in fast rhythm there on that, and just unable to keep that thing in bounds. A little bit of a mishit from him on that one.
High pop-up. Machado. Rogers off the front line. Schellinger tries to hold his ground. He does, and almost went over the line, but stays to finish off the point.
A couple nice plays defensively on both sides there. Scher with a rundown, then a good block touch against Rogers there to give them some rhythm, and Loyola finds a way to finish that one. Schellinger, again, like you said, flying out of that back row attack, but
still was close to that line.
Good swing.
Oh, what an ace. McElligott with his 26th of the season. It evens up, set 2 at 9.
Yeah, and he's gone cross court so far tonight. The lefty serving out of that far left kind of 5-zone area, and he's been going back to 5. That pass to attack outside for Ball State this time turns one down the line. Rogers just not expecting it and watches it fall there.
Rogers, Shosha, the stop. Scherer for Rogers off the front line. No pancake this time.
Good swing there by Rogers. Gets another chance. Scherer puts it up to him. Knows he's going to be against the doubles. Shows it doesn't get over there for a triple block, and then that ball kind of comes off the block in a tough way, and just unable to make that play on the Ramblers side.
Rogers slings it, and it's in. The fist pump from Coach Iandolo as Rogers picks up the Cardinals' 3rd service ace. And Shane Davis challenging.
Hooks in on that one.
I think that's right on the white line there.
I think that's going to be in.
The benefits of the Terraflex is it's very easy to see these shots on the line.
Yeah, you see it. Their assistant was standing right in line with that. Thought it was out, but that angle looked pretty good there. Yeah, that's in. That should be a quick one there.
It is a very quick review. And it stays Ball State point. And Rogers goes back to the line. 2 aces, 6 kills, hitting .455 today. MIVA championship, the 1 and 2 seeds. This one's out. Neither one of these teams was pressed to 5 sets in either their quarterfinal or semifinal matches. Ball State swept both Northern Kentucky and McKendree. And then Loyola 3-1 over Purdue Fort Wayne in the 2-7 matchup. Ended up sweeping number 6 Lewis last time in the semifinals 3-0. And Loyola trying to even the score here in the championship at 1-1. Rogers rejected, and it is a Ramblers point. It is so hard to stop Patrick Rogers when he's swinging like that in the back row, but Loyola put that perfectly up on the front line.
Yeah, they did a nice job staying in there, and they were right in on his cut shot. Ball State actually gets a coverage ball in that, but Rogers goes flying under the net on that and crosses the center line. So violation gives Ramblers an easy point there.
Babakovic sticks it out. Cardinals rotate. Basilio stops. Shosha flings it to Soa. And a rip from Schellinger. Machado, Rogers, back row again. It's short, and the Ramblers take the lead. But some work there from Klein in the net as well.
Yeah, they're trying to get a conversation here because it looked like
Coach Iandolo's making a case, but the official was fixing the padding.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So they called 4 touches. So Machado sets that ball on the bick. Rogers hits it. Official calls 4, which means the ball didn't clear the net. Coach Iandolo wants them to check to see. He thinks that ball touched the block when Pat Rogers hit it. So we'll kind of get through here. Not this one, so you get this. This kind of gets played up. Get a touch. Basilio plays it. So to be on this one here, they set the ball to Rogers, so he wants a touch on that one because the official blew it before that ball was actually dead. So we'll see if they get a look here on that. Probably net cam probably be best look on this. We're kind of behind the play, but didn't look like he had it from our vantage point live, but it's hard to tell sometimes on those.
Right, is there enough evidence to potentially change the call? It was Loyola point. So each team is challenged here in the last couple of points. Loyola lost a challenge. And now Ball State is challenging here.
So be on this swing here. It's hard to see from that side.
So that favors Ball State.
Yeah, so what you see there is a replay call. So what that means is because the official, the R1, the up official, he blew that play dead because he determined that it was 4 touches, that ball did not clear the net. So because he blew the point dead, they've got to now have a replay, even though Ball State, maybe they do, maybe they don't handle that in the coverage play, but because he blew it dead, they've got to replay this point.
Great challenge there for Ball State. Works in their favor. 11-11, set 2. Joust at the net. Klein flicks it to Rogers. Machado goes Lewis. Lewis off of Soa. And it's Ramblers' point.
It's kind of an odd one there. I'm not really sure. It didn't look like it. Anybody touched that, so it would have been 4, but no matter, kind of moving on there. Ball State gets a quick kill, ties it back up at 12. That was an odd one. I'd like to go back and kind of see that because it looked like Machado tried to save it.
Right.
But it didn't look like anybody touched it, so with Rogers not putting it over, it would have been 4 contacts and point over anyway, so.
Shosha tries to go opposite and now lifts it for Schellinger. Rips it down, and the Ramblers back in front.
Nice job there by Loyola. Again, a little bit wide set for Shosha. He finds a way to kind of get that thing off the block, save it. They get a point back, and then Schellinger, what a swing off the outside of the block. Ryan Lewis, it felt like he was all over it, but.
Well, Schellinger, the transfer from UCSD, 4 years there, honorable mention All-America last year. Been a big piece of this Ramblers squad. And a pick there twice. Fabakovic and Shosha. Leads to Lewis touching the block up front.
Really nice job. And you're seeing Machado on some of these bang-bang plays where Ryan Lewis is either digging the ball in right back or he's making these off-blocker plays in right front. You know, you're just not expecting him to get the ball, but Machado's going back there, kind of taking Loyola out of some rhythm on the defensive end. He does it there again. Ryan Lewis back to the service line, but just a less than ideal toss there and just unable to hit that thing over the net.
Basilio blocked up front. Back to Basilio on the two-handed touch. Tied at 14.
What a nice job there. That was a tough one, too. He's a little bit quicker in trans, so he takes a swing. They cover it. Machado has to go right back to him. A little quick, little wide, but with some touch and the tool there from Basilio.
Miguel again. What a move from Schellinger. Almost acted like he didn't have a play on it, and then just a quick pop-up.
Yeah,
gives the Ramblers the 15th point.
Ball State's going to want that one back there. The off-speed should have been easy. Just a little miscommunication, and good job by Schellinger to get a kill, give the Ramblers a lead here in set 2.
Ramblers have the lead here in set 2 as Ryan Lewis quickly changes that.
Nice swing there by Lewis, but yeah, I mean, just Coach Davis said he gets cleared on Monday, plays some 6s on Tuesday, and then rolls out and leads the team offensively on Wednesday night in the semifinal. He is the real deal. He's got a ton of experience. You know, he played at a high level previously in the MIVA for Quincy. I mean, he is, like we talked about, he was a preseason Player of the Year candidate in the conference, and impressive stuff for him to come back and just be right in the mix after being off for almost 2 months.
Pummeled out by Fabakovic. It was 14 matches that he missed. Still was hitting 4.3 kills per set. Clearly on track to be a front runner for MIVA Player of the Year. Yeah, and then comes back against Lewis like that.
Keep in mind, their schedule before the conference season started was no joke. I mean, they played some heavy hitters out west, and he was still, I think, at like just over 4.3 kills a set, hitting over 300. So
yeah, he helped lead a win over number 2, Hawaii.
Yeah, at Hawaii. Yeah, so he impressive and seamless kind of work back into the lineup.
Well, Coach Davis said that when he was injured, the mantra of this team is rise as one. Machado to Lewis off the front line, and Ball State reclaims the lead. And he said, we get better as everyone else gets better, so you don't want injuries, but this season's been that way and played into our mantra really well. And Shosha, you know, walk a mile for 3 days a week during his rehab, and he said he's just like that.
Yeah, and he said, you know, 6 different lineups. Ball State's seen a couple different ones. I think this is the 3rd different one they've seen this season. So, you know, just they do a nice job. They found a way, kind of with everybody, to have some high production still. So
Ramblers trying to tie it. Shosha the tap, and Ball State goes flying.
Nice look there. Ball State just unable to make that play. Shosha tips right over the top. Just gotta find a way. Ryan Lewis, that right front attacker, needs to make the play underneath on that one.
Shosha played at Quincy for a couple of years, so he's not new to Ball State, but he's new to Ball State in this Loyola Chicago system because they haven't seen him yet this year.
Sure, it's helpful. You know, he's played here, and you know that can be something that can give you some trouble. You're not used to playing in a big arena, you know, coming in here, trying to get used to that. So again, he's got experience, but it's different. You know, he never played in a conference final for Quincy, and so you know when you're playing in that, you got a different environment, kind of different expectations, but he certainly handled it.
What a surface ace.
It's a big one, and right on cue, Pat Rogers finding a way, and good timeout there from Coach Davis. I mean, you're just going to see it with guys like Rogers. If you have your big moments, you've got to find a way to get a little bit of a spread here. It's been back and forth, and he takes advantage from the service line, rips one into the seam, causes some trouble. And again, as we talked about, you get a couple point spread late in the set. It's hard because the men's game is so physical. They side out so often. If you get a 2 or 3 point lead, it really, really, really pressures the opposition because they've got to win a point on their serve. And that can be difficult, especially against a team who passes and sides out as well, as Ball State does.
Patrick Rogers has been the engine today. Baguette leads the team in all attackers today. 6 kills, hitting .308.
Yeah, and you know, a couple errors there for him. One on that Vic, and then one on that that front row ball on the right side when he tried to cut it. But just, you know, other than that, playing pretty clean. But you know, he's done it from the service line. A couple digs, a block, and his energy has been great. They're going to need that to continue from him, to find a balance between playing high energy, being dialed in, and not getting too over his heels. But man, he's been good so far today, and we'll see what he can do out of the timeout at the service line for the Cardinals.
Just think back to when he first joined Ball State a couple of years ago after his first program, and St. Francis, Brooklyn was closed. 1 year there, won Conference Freshman of the Year, arrives at Ball State and has been doing stuff like that for 3 straight years and tormenting defenses.
And you know, he stays close to home at St. Francis, and I mean, I've got to be the best recruit they've ever gotten there, but what a gift it was for Ball State to get him, and you're seeing it on display here tonight in the tournament championship.
4 aces for Rogers today. It hits off the video board, and the Cardinals play it in the middle. Surratt takes advantage.
Yeah, Surratt ends the point there, but you see that. Rogers rips it again. That pass goes off the timeout. You like to take those timeouts, especially when you got good servers, just to get them out of rhythm. And what's Rogers do? He comes out and hits them with 2 more aces. Now a 4-point spread here late in the second set.
4-0 scoring run for the Cardinals. Rogers has 5 aces this match. Entered with 37 to lead Ball State.
And you've seen the mix from him here so far, but mostly tonight, it's been the fastball for Rogers. He did get an off-speed ace early in set 1, and he's been good from the service line, and it just puts so much pressure on you when you're back there in serve receive and when somebody's ripping it and you're trying to figure out what you need to do. But as to be expected from Pat Rogers, so we'll see what they do coming out of the gate here. Look for Loyola. Davis got to be talking about, hey, handle this thing, got to be thinking pass first, and then what's the best option if we do handle it to get us out of this row and back to the service line.
Somehow, Loyola has to try and stop Ball State's hitting attack. 421 in this set, 436 overall. They're the second best hit percentage team in the country, and it's showing again tonight.
Yeah, and we've talked about it. A big component of that is, yes, they've got good attackers all over, but they've got one of the best setters in the country, and they play with tremendous balance because they can handle the ball. And so, you know, it's tough. If you can't get them off the net, it makes for a really challenging time if you're trying to play defense against this Cardinal team.
Scherer tried to save it, but Loyola calls the timeout, picks up the point.
Yeah, great job. I like that. Going back to Klein, he's had some success there. They handle that serve. Rogers rips another one, but Loyola finding some rhythm there. That was much needed to side out and get themselves back to the service line.
21-18, the Ramblers got to go on a run here, and it starts with back-to-back points. Schellinger rips it down.
There you see, good serve there. Sabakovic making these guys handle it. Rogers just a little quick on that pass, and it goes over, and Schoenzer makes quick work of that, sends it back to cut this lead to 2.
There's Fabakovic to serve. Scherer, Machado, Lewis trickles down, Fabakovic the save. Schellinger shut down. Surratt and Lewis going to work.
And a good job there. Ball State doesn't get the side out on the first one. Loyola gets a chance to cut it to 1. Lewis and Surratt send it back. Keep this spread at 3 late in set 2, excuse me.
McElligott into the middle. There's Aiden Klein rising.
Again, right back to the big fella in the middle. Loyola handles that ball. Soa lays it in there. Patterson trying to get on that thing, but just unable. Klein sneaks it through. Good shot into the corner for the Ramblers.
And now Klein serves into the net.
That's a tough one. Klein's done a really nice job. He did have an error earlier in the set, but he served with some really good pressure in set 1, so I'm sure Shane Davis would have liked to have him kind of stay back there for another one. He serves a high, deep kind of topspin serve, so Ball State lucky to get out of that one without having to do anything else.
Shosha stopped by Scherer. Machado to Lewis. The Cardinals trying to send it to set point as it goes back and forth. Shosha again, off the net, and Ball State point. Cardinals have a chance to take a 2-0 lead in the MIVA championship.
That little back and forth on that rally. Will Patterson, the middle sub who you see enter here in set 2, gets a good send back on kind of a make Loyola stay out of system in that one, and Ball State ends up with the point on the air.
Schellinger stopped, the twirl, the save. Cardinals want a 2-0 lead. They go to Basilia, who delivers.
Of the 9 teams in the MIVA were ranked this year, how impressive have you been with the MIVA?
It's been a great season for the MIVA. We've won matches out of conference, played very well outside of conference and inside. As you can see, the matches are tight and the games are intense.
And I want to focus on the growth of men's volleyball. Have you been surprised at all how much the sport has grown in the last 5 years?
There's so much more room to grow. The expansion of the tournament this year really helps. And we're going to have 12 teams now in the tournament, and it's going to be important for us to keep all the teams in there that are going to matter.
Thank you for joining.
Thanks.
That's Commissioner Tim O'Brien here with us and Max Gilley. Game is just exploding. He talked about it. 12 teams in the NCAA regionals now. The winner of tonight gets the auto bid. See how many teams in the MIVA do make it to that 12-team field with it expanding, and how good the RPI is for Loyola. They're at 6, Ball State's at 4. You figure these two 20-plus win teams are right there to get in.
I would be surprised if both of these guys are not in, certainly with some things that can happen, you know, but the way that some of these, the conferences of the West, I would be shocked if these guys aren't both in the 12-team tournament after we get through tonight, and the rest of the matches still to be played in these conference tournaments across the country.
Cardinals looking for the sweep in the MIVA championship and a title tonight on their home floor. Loyola wants to start step 1 of a reverse sweep, and they nab point number 1 from the middle. This one's Brad Bell.
Yep, little gap set there. Again, Loyola, I think McElligott trying to get that middle going. They've had some success there. They kind of get a little bit of a tool there right in front of the middle back. Rogers not able to do much with that. So good start for Loyola to handle that ball, get the ball to the middles.
Patrick Rogers ties it up at 1. The middles for Loyola today, Brad Bell's 5 of 7, and then Aiden Klein is 4 of 7. They've been effective.
But you've seen it in Ball State's last 2 matches. The middles for the other teams have done well because they've kind of been one-on-one, forcing those guys to score some, and they've slowed down the pins, which they've done here in some way tonight against Loyola.
Middle again, Josh Schellinger from the back row.
Schellinger playing well, and a guy who, and he's been there, done that again. You talked about a transfer, was an honorable mention All-American last year, and what a run on the pick there. That back row attack, good set by McElligott. You see 2 good passes from Loyola out of the gate, and they're able to side out twice on first balls. They're going to have to continue to do that to have a chance here in set 3.
Going back to the middles conversation, Tucker, why wouldn't Loyola just keep going to the middle then?
Well, you have to be able to pass it, right? You can't really set the middle if you're more than 8-10 feet off the net, and really you want to be closer than that to have some good rhythm, you know, to be able to score. And so, you know, they struggled to do that, although in the first set I thought they had some opportunities and some good matchups to set it, and they didn't. You've seen them go to it a little bit more in set 2, obviously here early in set 3, so you've got to be able to pass the ball, and then you've got to have some matchups that you like, because certainly if you have good matchups elsewhere, you want to take advantage of it. But I think we're going to see them continue to go to the middle so long as they can pass the ball well enough to be in some good rhythm to go there.
Well, Will Patterson just checks in and casually lays down his first kill.
Yep, and there you see it on that end. Good pass. He's in the gap, and really Loyola gets two up on that one, but just a little bit of a tool there. Sends it down for the Cardinals.
And Basilio knocks it away.
Kind of an unforced one there. Basilio with a little bit of a kind of a hybrid float there, just sends it out.
Brings up Daniel Fabakovic. Junior from the Czech Republic, 3-time All-MIVA first team, including this season. Patrick Rogers, also 3-time MIVA. And it's a Ramblers point. This seems like a critical stretch of the match and this set in particular for Loyola. Can they go on a run and push this to a 4 or 5 point lead and just keep Ball State at bay?
Yeah, that's kind of a weird one there. Again, Loyola take whatever they get on that, especially when Rogers attacking. Just an unforced error, but Loyola's played well, forcing Ball State to have to handle the ball. And then, like you said, they've sided out a couple times on first balls with some good passes of their own. So a nice job there. And again, you see some transition defense to offense for Loyola, and they're getting some good rhythm here. Starting to take some good deep swings. Ryan Lewis just unable to handle that one on the cross-court ball. So Ball State desperately needs a side out here. Starts with a good pass to give them some options.
Machado, the pass to Basilio, knocks Soa off balance for a point.
Yeah, that one's tough. Kind of get a little net clip on that pick from Basilio, and Soa just probably a little bit of a hesitation there off the net and just unable to handle it. So a much needed side out for the Cardinals to stop the bleeding here as the Ramblers have come out playing with some fire in set 3.
Back to the middle. You said they needed passing. They have exactly that to lead to Aiden Klein.
First ball side outs for the Ramblers here in the first 3 rotations. So a really nice job, and they've gone to the middle. Again, it's hard. These guys are big and physical. And Klein, man, he's buried it when he's been one-on-one so far tonight. Does it again there. So Ramblers feel like made some adjustments, just kind of realizing they need to settle in a little bit more on the pass. And they've proven that they can do it here in set 3.
Well, that Patrick Rogers kill goes left of the double block and hits it off of a hand.
Yeah, good rip tool off the block there for Rogers. Nice swing, good high swing, tight ball, but handles it well. And we've seen some high-level play here.
And there's Schellinger again.
Yeah. Again,
team high 9 kills tonight.
You see them both teams, and this is what you get a difference in the women's game to the men's game here. When these guys typically handle the ball well, it's a lot of first ball side out, which means you pass, you set it once, and that's one attack, it's a kill, and we're going back to the service line. So you've seen that, especially from Loyola here, but Ball State on cue there from Pat Rogers, they've done it as well. So you're seeing some high-level volleyball here where you're not only able to handle it in serve receive, but you can kill it right away and not give the other team a chance to get a dig into transition and a swing.
Rogers with 9 kills on 19 touches today. 5 aces for him, tries for a 6th. Loyola, though, passing well. Shosha delivers again. Shosha heating up. 6 kills on 12 swings.
Yeah, starting to find some rhythm back there, and they've needed that. You know, he's gotten some kills so far, but he's made some errors and hasn't got as many kills. That kill percentage is what he normally does. So, and good rhythm so far. So impressed with what Loyola's been doing here in set 3.
Right back to Shosha. Off of Rogers. Scher lifts it high. Joust at the net. There's Basilio. Machado just has to get it over. Outside, Fabakovic rejected.
And a nice job on Ball State's side to make a cover play there to kind of extend the rally, and then Loyola just trying to get that thing out. To Fabakovic, it's a tight set. He tries to just cut it quick inside, and Ball State sends it back at the net there. And again, kind of spin it 2 as Loyola's gotten out to this. Ball State trying to cut that lead back down to 1 or 0.
Shosha tools the block and pushes it back to 3. It seems like he and Loyola are starting to figure out how to use Shosha on that side.
Yeah, really nice job. I mean, he's 3 really good swings in a row. Not down, but high, hard, deep from Shosha back there. And it's a really hard ball to defend when you hit it well, and you're seeing it here from the Ramblers.
Rogers stopped by the defense, and Basilio has a free touch, but he sends it out. He had a wide open lane and took it too far left, just hooked it.
Yeah, nice run down there, goes over the net, and he just, as he's falling away, curls it.
Momentum was pulling him out of bounds.
Yeah.
It's the largest lead the Ramblers have had in any set today. Machado goes quickly, and Patterson uses that almost 7-foot frame to scoop it home.
Yeah, and a nice shot. Great set by Mach. 10 feet off the net, and Patterson, big, long middle, big window to set into there, and he finds a way and some space there on the Rambler side. So Ball State trying to cut this thing down, but Loyola has been great offensively here in set 3.
Fabakovic, does he go off the fingertips? No. Thought maybe the front line touched it.
Got no touch there, just a little over. Great swing. I like the look from Fabakovic there, trying to go high hands. That's the first time Loyola's been off the net in this set.
Right.
In serve receive, so.
Lewis into the net. That's Ball State's 12th service error. By the way, Will Patterson from Loveland, Ohio. You've coached some good talent from Loveland, Ohio. Marie Plitt comes to mind.
Yeah, Will Patterson hopes his career ends the way Marie Plitt did. One of the best, if not the best middle to ever play for the women's team at Ball State. Among a few from Loveland, Ohio that have had great success here on the women's side. So we like to see that.
And then Drew Plitt, quarterback for Ball State, helped the Cardinals to a bowl win.
And 6 or 7 different lineups, and you know that big win against Hawaii certainly helps the RPI, but the MIVA has had some great wins and have a long line across the board, so that top of the MIVA, all those RPIs are good, which then helps yours. So, you know, they beat Ball State, which was another big-time win early at home, you know, middle part of the MIVA season. So, Shane Davis, what can you say? He's just done nothing but be a winner in his time at Loyola, and trying to rally these guys back in set 3 to extend this one.
Rogers has other plans, though, trying to make Ball State come back in set 3 down 2.
You see that cut shot from Rogers and inside the 10, and Loyola unable to handle that thing.
Off of the net, 13th error for Ball State on the line today.
And Ball State just looks like just a little tight here, as well as, well, maybe just pressing a little bit from the service line, and Loyola taking advantage of that on their side.
2 go for it. Cardinals corral it. Ryan Lewis twirls it home.
Good set, great shot. So ball's kind of passed off the net. I like the layoff from Machado. It's a little inside, and Lewis gets to it and just cuts it I like that shot, understanding he needs to use the block, can't go down into it, and finds a way to get a point for the Cardinals.
Free ball, Patrick Rogers smokes it.
And Will Patterson, you talk to Coach Iandola, Will Patterson, biggest kid on the team, 6'10". You don't always think middles is the best servers, but he's one of the best servers on the team. He's got a good float serve. It's a really hard angle because he's so high. He's almost hitting that thing down at you. Gets an overpass, and Rogers puts it away.
And doesn't get one in here.
You compliment people, and then they
It's
betray
the
you.
Tucker bidding curse, I guess.
That's tough. Can't talk about a server while they're still in.
Okay, next time. Aiden Delorier serving. Second time he's been on the line today. Machado out for Lewis, who's stopped up front. Rogers pounds it down. He's up to 12 kills, hitting almost 400.
And a good job there again. I thought that set just a little inside on the D-ball the first round through to Lewis, but he gets a good high swing. Victor Scherer there on the cover, and the Machado, great rhythm there. Finds Rogers for the kill, and this lead back down to 1. See if the Cardinals can tie it at 15.
Was a 4-point Ramblers lead, and now it's back to 2.
Long again, Ball State just not as consistent here from the service line in set 3, and when they have been, Loyola has handled the ball efficiently.
Down the line.
That is a big-time set from Machado, but what a swing from Pat Rogers. That ball's tight. Finds a way to go in the seam. So a not expected one to come into his lap there. And Ball State again finding a way between their two All-MIVA performers and what will be All-Americans here in another week.
Oh, Rogers, he does it again. That's his 6th ace tonight, and it is all.
Handle this one side out, do what they've done well in set 3.
Hard swing by Shosha, and it's off the front line of Ball State.
Sosha there, another nice high swing on that D-ball. He is pound away in this set, and he has been terrorizing the block of Ball State.
And Schellinger off of the net. Each team with 1 timeout remaining here in set 3. The Cardinals want a sweep of the MIVA championship. The Ramblers trying to go the reverse sweep. High set for Shosha. Fabakovic winked the diving stop. And now Basilio has a whack, and it trickles home. The Cardinals have come back down 4 in set 3 to take an 18-17 lead.
And if you didn't notice, Tyler Wink, the freshman left side from Winter Park, Florida, comes in to serve, but better than the serve is the dig he makes. He's one of the best defensive players on this Ball State team. And what a moment there to find a way to make that defensive play to give Ball State a chance, and then they side out.
Fabakovic goes cross court and ties it back at 18. Wentz made 2 exceptional defensive plays.
Yeah, 2 great plays.
Looks like Ball State might challenge us too, Tucker.
Yeah, Coach Iandola just wants to use one here. I think he thinks it's close enough here in this situation to use one.
Now, will there be enough evidence to overturn this?
Yeah, it looked like the guys on the end of the bench told him it was in, but I think he wants to look at this one just to make sure. It's going to be, yeah, if we get a line look.
He won't have a better look at a ball. That's right in front of him. But happening quickly. Is the ball down right there?
Between shots. I think it's.
Is that down though? There's a dark circle beneath the ball.
Yeah, but I don't know where it hits, and it's going to be hard if that's the only look to overturn it.
So that hasn't bounced yet. It bounces down right there, and presumably.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think that was error. I think the shadow, that's the dark circle. That's the shadow of the ball.
They must have had a good look at that, because that's a pretty quick replay there. But again, the call on the court was in, so he had to have a look on replay that told him indisputably it was out. And what a great opportunity there. Coach Iandola to take that challenge, and Ball State now with a 2-point lead, and a good timeout here from Coach Shane Davis to try to slow this momentum. Again, Ball State hung around, and you see them get one big play can make such a difference, especially with these two teams who have been so good offensively in this set. You get one dig and a side out, and then you get an extra look there, and that ball's out. And so big moment there. Good challenge from Coach Iandola. That 2-point spread is a big deal here as we get late into this set.
Cardinals aiming for tournament title number 16 today. Loyola Chicago wants back-to-back and number 5 overall. This would also be Shane Davis's 5th straight as the head coach of the Ramblers. 13, 14, and 15 were his last 3 years. Fabakovic off the fingertips of the front line.
What a swing there from Fabakovic. Ball's passed off the net. Ball State gets a good double up, but what a swing high deep into the corner. Just not much you can do with that. Great response from the 3-time All-MIVA performer.
Brad Bell, the senior middle blocker. Machado for Rogers, who slingshots one over.
I like that look, Machado just going to the guy. Klein dives into the power shot. Rogers sends it back that set side. The Ramblers unable to handle it.
And Ryan Lewis rips one out. That's the 16th service error on the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I think 2 or 3 in this set for Ryan Lewis, but gotta get reset here if you're Ball State. You've got to spread here. If you can side out, you keep the 2-point spread here, which is pivotal in this.
It's McGilligan into the net, and the Cardinals can feel it. 4 points to go.
And I like McGilligan trying to kind of go cut cross court there, which is a really hard ball to pass. He's had some success with it already tonight. Just a little short into the net. Gives the Cardinals some breathing room here.
Basilio, the tapper. Free ball. Patrick Rogers secures his 15th kill with authority.
And Soa just going to want that one back so bad. Basilio right to him. Soa just a little bit lost on that one. And one person you don't want to give an overpass to, Pat Rogers, not going to miss. Sends it back for the Cardinals.
Shosha's rejected. It's all Ball State.
Combination there, Machado and Patterson. And Sota here hitting on the left side because it's row 1. Tries to tip over the top, and Ball State sends it back there. Great job to see that ball, be patient, not try to reach for it, but wait for it to come down and then send it back.
Cardinals are 1 point within match point and championship point. McElligott to the outside. It's rejected. It's now match point for the Cardinals.
Ball State saying, hey, it's a good pass. They've struggled. They're going to go to their guy, Fabakovic. Pat Rogers all over it, and now Ball State 1 point away from a sweep and a MIVA tournament championship.
Will Basilio trying to ignite this crowd one more time for the Cardinals' 16th MIVA tournament championship, and it's into the net. .24-20, match point. Lucas Machado to Patrick Rogers. Worthen falls silent for the moment. Victor Scherer digs it. Machado to Patterson. It's in! It's in! The MIVA championship is back in Muncie. The volleyball capital of the nation adds tournament title number 16.
Muốn nhắn rằng nhớ em nhưng lại thôi. Vì biết bây giờ em tình nhân mới. Nhiều khi anh mong được một lần nói ra tất cả thay vì
Em chào mọi người nhé. Bữa nay ăn lạp xưởng. Lạp xưởng gì? Lạp xưởng của nhà Khởi Bắc Hân. Biết bao nhiêu không? Bao nhiêu? Có 128 ngàn à. Rẻ vậy. Bữa giờ ăn 4-5 lần rồi. Vậy là nhiều lắm đó đúng không? Đúng rồi. Đây, bữa nay ăn với muối sạch tây ninh nữa của nhà Úc Hương. Muối sạch tây ninh, muối này ngon lắm á. Đúng rồi. Vậy là chấm kiểu gì? Đây chị mọi người. Làm món này. Wow, đã vậy. Wow. Lạp xưởng của nhà Khởi Bắc Hân.
Nhật làm ai? Nó nhớ việc luôn hết, việc luôn. Ủa ra đi đâu có chuyện mấy trăm mình trình hết. Ha. Phát bằng mấy việc luôn xích anh dầm mo mình. Bằng cộng anh. Đôi khi lòng cũng yêu em thật nhiều, mà tình đó trả lại bao nhiêu. Đời em là cả ước muốn tương lai. Úc USC. Rồi cái này cái tình.
Con người hay con ngựa? Bởi vì từ đầu mày tên Trang, mày vô quán tao là tao không có ưa rồi. Nè, ông Trí nha, người ta có vợ con đàng hoàng nha, mày đứng mày dẹo hồi nha, vợ con này bờm đầu á. Nếu nói mày là cái thứ hả, âm binh cô hồn, thấy bảy lên báo đời người ta. Ha, nhất quỷ nhì ma, thứ ba là mày á. Mày đi ra ngoài đường đi trời đánh thánh 50-500 mày cũng chết đuối à. Mà mày đừng có sống trên cõi đời này nữa, mày vô trong rừng trong rú ngã cắm xuống cắm heo đi, cô ông thần dịch vật. Trời đó kêu mày ra giao nước chứ đâu kêu mày ra giao phối. Cút vô trong quán. Con ngựa. Còn anh Trí ơi, kể từ nãy anh không còn sợ cô.
Cuộc đời như những thước phim buồn đông nắng trước.
Qua rồi. Xe cũng không vào được nữa, có xe lớn không? Một hồ chứa lớn rộng 160 mẫu. Bên trong.
都有堂堂的财富家。很少。贫困子啊，就家。
Ngươi cho rằng ngươi mặc bộ quần áo của hắn thì ngươi chính là Tề Thiên Đại Thánh rồi sao? Ngươi cho rằng học cách nói chuyện của hắn ngươi chính là Mỹ Hầu Vương rồi sao? Giả thì mãi mãi là giả. Nếu như đã thích giả vờ như vậy thì quỳ xuống cho lão tử, hiện ra nguyên hình của ngươi. Đấu chiến thắng Phật, vào sa môn của ta được 1 năm, công đức vô lượng. Hôm nay đặc biệt ban tặng ngươi một cây cửu trì kim liên để làm phần thưởng. Đệ tử đa tạ ơn của Phật tổ. Xảy ra chuyện gì vậy? Có kẻ được tập kích, yêu nghiệt phương nào dám tự ý xông vào Linh Sơn? Trời ơi, khí tức này, kim thân của ta sắp bị nứt ra rồi. Đây tuyệt đối không phải là yêu tinh bình thường. Đây là Thiên Địa Đại Huy. Đồ đệ ngộ không của ta đang còn ở đâu? Hôm nay vi sư đến tìm lại công đạo cho hắn. Sổ đòi nợ. Đòi nợ ai vậy? Trong tam giới này, ai dám đòi nợ Linh Sơn? Ban đầu các người nói hắn là yêu hầu. Ta nhịn rồi, đó là số mệnh của hắn. Sau đó các người chèn ép hắn 500 năm. Ta cũng nhịn rồi, đó là kiếp của hắn. Bây giờ các người lại gãi bệnh muốn giết hắn, hủy đi thân xác của hắn, diệt thân hồn của hắn, để cho tên lục nhĩ này mạo danh thay thế. Nếu như còn nhịn nữa, không xứng đáng làm sư phụ. Phật tổ, đây là ai vậy? Tao nguyện tam tình động. Tu Bồ Đề. Phật tổ cứu con với. Không phải người nói Bồ Đề lão tổ sớm đã ẩn thấy không xuất hiện nữa sao? Là một kẻ nhát gan sợ chuyện hay sao? Đến rồi, hắn muốn giết con. Khí tức đó quá đáng sợ. Con đáng sợ hơn một gậy của năm đó. Con khỉ này cuối cùng cũng chỉ là một vật thay thế. Nhưng bây giờ đây là mặt mũi của người môn, là mấu chốt để cho được kiếp của Tây Du viên mãn. Không thể có chuyện gì được, sợ cái gì? Ngươi là đấu chiến hữu Phật, là vô vị được thiên đạo công nhận. Đây là Linh Sơn, có nội tình của nhị thống để lại, còn có đại trận vạn Phật bảo vệ. Bồ đề đó tuy rất thần bí, nhưng dù sao hắn cũng đã ẩn thế quá lâu. Huống hồ, phía sau Linh Sơn này không chỉ có một mình bổn tọa. Bồ đề hắn có mạnh, lẽ nào còn có thể mạnh hơn cả thiên đạo, mạnh hơn thế nhân? Đúng vậy, phía sau Phật môn là có 2 vị thánh nhân thật. Vậy thì bồ đề đó cùng lắm cũng chỉ là chuyện của bình phong, không có thể tạo phản nữa hay sao? Đúng, ta chính là đấu chiến thắng Phật. Ta có Phật môn bảo vệ, hắn không dám giết ta, hắn tuyệt đối sẽ không dám. Ai nói với các ngươi ta chưa từng thành thánh? Ha 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 ha. Hay lắm. Như Lai lão nhi, ngươi cũng có ngày hôm nay. Ban đầu thật giả Mỹ Hầu Vương, Trâm đã cảm thấy có gì đó không đúng, thì ra thật sự sớm đã bị giết chết rồi. Bệ hạ cẩn trọng lời nói. Chuyện này nếu như truyền ra bên ngoài, thiên đình của chúng ta có phải cũng? Dù sao năm đó con khỉ kia đại loạn thiên cung, chúng ta cũng phối hợp diễn kịch. Sợ cái gì chưa ngộ không là Như Lai hả? Đổi lục nhĩ di hầu chỉ là một người xem kịch mà bây giờ bồ đề đó đến tận cửa tí. Con có đầu nợ có chủ, đánh nát thì cũng đánh nát cái đại lôi âm tử. Liên quan gì đến 5 tiêu điện của chấm trước? Chuyên ý chỉ của chấm lập tức đống lại Nam Thiên Môn, mở ra đại trận Chu Thiên Tinh Đấu, Ngọ Hạ Châu. Một góc nào đó bị người đời lãng quên.
Cô Lan đi, đứa trẻ đang còn ước hết khổ áo ở kìa. Dù sao cũng là phu nhân của một giám đốc mà, gì mà kỳ lắm.
Cô yêu thương con coi con như con ruột của cô. Mà con lại làm như vậy với cô mà con chưa thấy con sai nữa hả cha? Cha, con đừng có phụng phàng những người thật sự yêu thương con.
Cô lên lớp và giải đời con, cô nên tập sống như vậy đi, đừng có những anh thương.
Thằng thằng nó mà coi cả lắm là coi cha. Con cha nó làm như vậy đó, ngoài nó buông một tay em. Gặp tao nãy giờ tao nhặt đầu nó vô con tao cái chó què tao. Khổ là trời.
Chẳng là ba
Ông ngoại với cha vậy đó, cái phen nhiều phen thằng nó tập nãy giờ đây tao nói mày nó gặp tao cái là mày thằng tiền hả? Khổ là trời, cái lớp đó trời.
Xin chào ông bà cô chú ạ. Bố mẹ em mất sớm, một mình em phải nuôi 3 đứa em nhỏ. Nay em đang tập xây kim bán hàng để kiếm chút tiền lo cho các em. Mong ông bà cô chú.
Dạ gửi nước được nha. Bao nhiêu? Dạ 70.000.
Nếu như ngươi đã thích trộm như vậy, vậy thì lão đạo sẽ giúp ngươi lột đất ra. Đã mượn này. Á. Hứa. Hứa qua á. Đây là tà thuật gì vậy? Đây đâu phải là lão thần tiên đức cao vọng trọng. Thủ đoạn nặng. Lúc đó là dạ, bà. Chị biết gì không chị? Chị Phương ấy, là số em cả chị. Phương nào, Phương nào? Phương mắt ca. Chị đeo là con này, mà để hai đứa ấy. Là cái mọi người của nó xông ra xô xe dạo
bên sân mình.
Đây là thủ đoạn đúng không? Là cái này anh nha. Bạn nào chưa biết quay video ghi là gì, chưa có công cụ quay thì làm theo cách này nha. Dùng mắt phơi đồ để gặp đầu theo chiều dài của điện thoại. Đầu còn lại các bạn kéo rộng ra để đeo vào cổ. Các bạn dùng dây thun để cột cố định điện thoại. Các bạn có thể dùng dây bất kỳ, tận dụng dây túi xách cũ. Dây túi xách cũ thuận tiện hơn vì có độ tăng giảm. Và đây là
Thời gian không thể xóa đi tình yêu hôm nào. Lại trăng vẫn bờ mi thì đôi ta đành chia tay. Vì sao em lại nỡ gian dối tim em hơn người. Không được sao. Dám chịu mới được. Nằm chiếu với nỗi cô đơn. Mày dùng lẩu thao quyền. Đấy. Nha. Nha.
Ngon nó thơm vị nó lạ lắm cả nhà. Ok thử đi. Có ok. Rồi đi kiếm thôi, kiếm loại rau gì đó. Đâu. À có loại rau nè, có. Đây mà là một loại rau rừng ở trên núi, rất là ít ai biết. Rau này được gọi là rau đuôi bò nha cả nhà. Anh thấy mới hai xong. Rồi, đầu tiên sẽ chiên miếng gà trước nha. Wow, trong cái muối này quá đã cả nhà. Đây này. Cái này ở rừng nên rất là nhanh. Đây là gà thải trên rừng rồi nha. Đó. Ăn kèm miếng dọc. Thải trên rừng rồi nha. Đó. Một loại rau khác nữa ở trong vườn. Đây, rau muống nhà trồng đẹp lắm, không có hóa chất hay thuốc tầm màu nào cả nha. Thì mình phải chấm qua miếng nước muối. Wow, nó sốt ngon lắm. Mời cả nhà miếng gà. Có một loại rau rất là lạ, chắc mọi người rất là hay ít ăn nha. Đây, rau này chỉ có ở trên rừng của nhà mình thì có nhiều. Cả nhà thấy không? Đây là cái lá khô qua nha. Đây, ngon lắm. Wow, lại ăn kèm với nó nha. Ui, nó thơm lắm. Wow. Rồi cũng miếng gà nhé nha. Là nó đắng lắm, nó thơm lắm nha. Quá đặc. Rồi tiếp theo nha. Em tí gọi là lá ớt cả nhà, với lại ớt như này nè. Đã chưa? Wow, hấp dẫn. Đây, lá ớt với ớt như này nha, như đó. Nó trị được rất là nhiều bệnh, đặc biệt là bệnh gan. Đã. Nó đắng nhưng mà ngon. Mới đi xin thịt gà về được một cái đùi. Hôm nay em Tế sẽ đi ra vườn múc băng nha cả nhà. Trước khi đi ra vườn múc băng thì em Tế sẽ pha sốt là sốt đặc sản Tây Ninh, Úc Hương nha cả nhà. Muối này rất là ngon, muối sạch nha cả nhà, muối sạch. Có hộp và có muối sạch nghiền cũng được. Em Tế có pha trong này là nước nóng này, là chanh này. Trước khi ăn phải tết thử nấm. Wow, nó ngon, nó thơm, vị nó lạ lắm cả nhà. Ok. Wow, nó ngon, nó thơm. Rồi, đi chiến thôi, chúng loại rau gì ta? Đây mà là một loại rau rừng ở trên núi, rất là ít ai biết. Rau này được gọi là rau đuôi bò nha cả nhà. Anh thấy mới hai xong. Rồi, đầu tiên thì chiến miếng gà trước nha. Wow, chấm với muối này quá đã cả nhà. Đây này. Cái này đừng nên rất là nhanh. Cái đường là gạt phải trên đường rồi nha. Đó. Một loại rau khác nữa ở trong vườn. Đây, rau muống nhà trồng đẹp lắm, không có hóa chất hay thuốc làm màu đâu cả nhà. Thì mình phải chấm qua một miếng muống muối. Wow, nó sốt ngon lắm. Mời cả nhà miếng gà. Ui, nó thơm lắm. Wow. Rồi cũng miếng gà nha. Gà nó đắng đắng, nó thơm thơm lắm cả nhà. Quá đã. Rồi tiếp theo nha. Em tí gọi là lá ớt cả nhà, với lại ớt luôn nha, thấy nè. Đã chưa? Wow, hấp dẫn. Đây, còn lá ớt với ớt trong này luôn nha. Như đó. Đúng không? Đây con này đâu? Trong đây có ra. Mày đi.
Đâu. Nó trị được rất là nhiều bệnh, đặc biệt là bệnh gan. Nó trị nó trị được rất là nhiều bệnh, đặc biệt là bệnh gan. Mới đi xin thịt gà về được một cái đùi. Từng ngày dài gần hơn nhìn nơi đây, nhìn cánh hoa bay qua sắp tháng trời xa, trong vòng tay của một tình đã ngất ngay khi đôi môi em vừa trao.
Cái thằng chạy chiếc Wilson màu xanh, bản số mấy con chính đó. Mày coi nè, đủ má, mày thấy cái clip tôi đăng lên nè nha. Nè sao là dòng họ đủ má.
Sao mình không lật bán ngu thế.
Nó trị được rất là nhiều bệnh, đặc biệt là bệnh gan.
Chồng vần tay tình tình cờ bên nhau.
lên nhiều bệnh, đặc biệt là bệnh gan. Mới đi xin thịt gà về được một cái đùi. Hôm nay anh Tế sẽ đi ra vườn múc băng nha cả nhà. Trước khi đi ra vườn múc băng thì anh Tế sẽ pha sốt, là sốt đặc sản của anh Ninh, út hương nha cả nhà. Muối này rất là ngon, muối sặc nha cả nhà. Muối sặc có hột và có muối sặc nhuyễn cũng được. Anh Tế có pha trong này là nước nóng này, giờ là chanh này. Trước khi ăn phải tách thử nấm. Wow, nó ngon, nó thơm. Rồi đi chiến thôi, chúng loại rau gì ta? Đây mà là một loại rau rừng ở trên núi. Gì đó kìa.
Làm cho chữ chạy theo vật thể như thế này, di chuyển đến đâu chữ sẽ chạy theo đến đấy. Làm rất là đơn giản. Ngay tại cắt nha. Cho cái video cần làm vào trong cắt, sau đó mọi người bấm vào chữ thêm văn bản cho Hồng nha. Ghi cái nội dung mọi người muốn thêm vào. Ví dụ như ở đây Hồng muốn nhập cái nội dung là Hồng cắt chẳng hạn là cái tên kênh của mình. Mọi người có thể là chọn phông chữ và phong cách chữ nha. Sau đó này kéo dài cho nó hết video ra, cho nó chạy dài hết video ra. Và mọi người có thể phóng to, thu nhỏ cái chữ này, di chuyển đến vị trí mọi người mong muốn. Ví dụ như ở đây Hồng muốn nó bám vào cái lòng bàn tay này chẳng hạn như vậy. Đấy, tay di chuyển đến đâu chữ nó sẽ di chuyển đến đấy. Thì trước kia là mọi người phải sử dụng keyframe là cái hình thoi ở đây này, nó rất mất thời gian. Bây giờ chúng ta chỉ cần bấm vào cái thao tác đang bám ở đây cho Hồng thôi, nó sẽ hiển thị ra một cái đường tròn như thế này, hình tròn như này. Thì mọi người lại di chuyển cái hình tròn này đến cái vị trí mọi người muốn bám. Ví dụ như ở đây Hồng muốn bám vào cái lòng bàn tay này chẳng hạn thế, thì Hồng sẽ di chuyển cái hình tròn vào cái lòng bàn tay. Và bây giờ chúng ta chỉ việc bấm vào bắt đầu bám thôi.
Nhìn cánh chim bay ngăn thấp thoáng trời xa, trong vòng tay mình nguyện thề bên nhau.
Rất nhanh, ấn phẩm hot nhất mạng xã hội mấy hôm nay đã update bằng nét tổng thống Hàn Quốc đã ở đây. Sau khi tổng thống Hàn Quốc và phu nhân gây án tối đen.
Có khiếp này được không ta? Còn ngày em đêm ta cùng nhau say sưa bước trên đoạn đường, tiếng hát xưa xưa ta xa vời, dìu nhau đi với những chiếc hôn đầu tiên.